Yo! They just sent me through a little door there. I was like, okay, I'll go through that thing. That's cool. Hey, y'all are firing me up in here. You started off and the energy is fantastic. You brought it. I'm so grateful for you. So pumped for tonight. We get to be a part of this. My name is Dustin, and I was a teenager in the 90s. Teenager in the 90s. I know, I felt the same way. This is what I looked like in the 90s. So, okay, I'm the one on the left with the little striped collar. I got some sunnies in my hair. Okay, it's my friend Josh next to me. Invited me to church actually for the very first time, and that's my guy. And I convinced myself at this time that the approach I wanted it to do, the main way I'm gonna get girls to like me, girls' attention, to like somehow grasp a girl's heart is through dance. I'm gonna dance my way into ladies' hearts. This is what I decided. And I don't know if there's judgment in the room. There shouldn't be, because every single one of you has, like, you got your way, all right? You got your approach. Perhaps it's not dancing, but in the 90s, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start dancing. In the event that you're unfamiliar with 90s dance party culture, let me entertain you for a moment. This is a little bit of what it was like. All right. All right, that's not true. It wasn't like that. All right, it was a little like this, right? The fast dancing, that's not how it happened. No party I ever went to had everybody, you like walk in like everybody's dancing. Never the case. Slow dancing, sometimes it's awkward then, awkward now. But I was invited to a dance party, and I was stoked, ready to go. And I knew kind of what was gonna go on when we get there, and it wasn't like that. We weren't, a 90s dance party, you'd walk in and everybody would typically stare at each other, they're kind of bored, and then a dance circle would break out. You know what a dance circle is? So I'll show you. This is kind of what it's like.
And they match. Purple.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Okay, got some matching outfits. Hey, there's some coaches out there that are like, I did that dance and I wore those pants and I had my hair like that. They belong there. And it was kind of like that, except it was usually the circle would form, and then one at a time, you jump in the circle, you do your best dance moves, and then you'd get out. That's what we did. That's dance parties, dance circles. And so I got invited to this party, and I knew two things to be true. I knew that the girl I liked was gonna be there, number one. So I was pumped. Secondly, I knew this boy's dancing at that party, okay, because I'm gonna get that girl. So all week long, leading up to this party, I began working on my craft. I'm in my bedroom, working on my dance moves, practicing all the things, getting ready. It's the night of the dance party. It's down the street from my house. I walk to the party. I walk through the house. It's just like you were told. Everyone's kind of standing around and they're bored. And I walk to the backyard, and the backyard is where the dancing is gonna happen inevitably, but it hasn't started yet. And so I wanted just one more run through to practice a little bit. So I go to the side of the house by myself, and it's dark, and I'm alone, and I just get in the zone. I mean, I lock in, I'm doing all the things. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that move. I'm not gonna walking through the whole thing. Next thing I know, I'm on the dance floor, AKA the back porch. There's like a bug light above us. Circle forms around me, and my song plays. And I've been ready for this song. This is DJ Easy Rock and Rob Bass. It Takes Two. You might know it. I go for it. So I do it. I'm doing the thing. I'm maybe doing this too. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I wasn't doing that. I might have even, I don't know. I might have even like been jumping through my foot to the thing. All right, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. I do all the things that I know how to do and maybe more. And then I get out, I felt like things were okay. Party's over. Monday, I walked to school and I can't believe it. I mean, I didn't think this, I hoped it would work, but I didn't know it was gonna work as well as it did. And me and that girl became boyfriend and girlfriend that next Monday. Woo! I don't know what else to say other than it had to be the dance moves, I guess. Sometimes you just need like a story that's good. Sometimes you need like a good story. So this is update, relational update. So we then dated all summer long, never spoke one time, didn't even break up, which is weird. Technically, I guess we're still together, but I'm married, so I don't know how that works out. Wonderful wife named Megan Tappan, love her to death. My lady. She's cool though, she's good with it. Here's what I know about people, is the stories we tell ourselves about people determines how we approach them. And we're all like this. Listen, we're all like this. The stories we tell ourselves about people determines how we approach them. Equally true, the stories we tell ourselves about God determines how we approach God. This book of Hebrews in the New Testament is written to a group of Christians that at one time were practicing Judaism. They would go to the temple, they would bring their offerings and their sacrifices, and then they would go to a priest in order to approach God, and they do that once a year. And then when Jesus came, he fulfilled all of that. He became the sacrifice. He is our priest. So that wasn't necessary any longer, but they wanted to go back to that because the story they were telling themselves is that Jesus isn't enough. And there must be more that they have to do and more that they have to take on in order to feel right with God. Maybe Jesus isn't enough. And so the author of Hebrews in chapter 4, and we don't know who the author of Hebrews is necessarily, but he writes this in chapter 4, verse 14. He says, "Therefore, since we have a great high priest who is ascended into heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we have, yet is without sin." And then he says this, "Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." That Jesus has become our high priest. And we have every reason in the world to approach God with confidence because of Jesus and only through Jesus. The author of Hebrews is writing to them and he's writing to us. Let us approach God's throne of grace with confidence. But why is it that we have a hard time approaching God with confidence? Let me ask you, what story are you telling yourself about God that keeps you from approaching God with confidence? What story are you telling yourself about God? My son had his driver's license, and a couple months after that, he was coming home from practice. It was nighttime, he's in his car, and he pulls his car to our next door neighbor's house. He turns off the ignition, he leaves the car in drive. So the car is off, car's in drive, public service announcement, the car can still move. So he gets out of the car, goes over to the neighbor's house to take the trash cans to the curb, and then this happens. Dude's fast. It's fast on the way back. He didn't realize the car had moved. It had rolled down our street into our neighbor's wall and smashed into it. Small damage, wasn't that big of a deal. That night, he walks into our house, and we instantly know something's wrong. He has it all over his face. And his thought process is, man, my parents are gonna be pretty mad at me. In fact, the assumption that he makes is the same assumption that we make when we make mistakes. Not necessarily about our parents, but about God, that God is disappointed in us. The story we tell ourselves is that God is disappointed in us. And I know this to be true. I know there's a lot of you that are here tonight. You walked in and you kind of felt like you just wrecked, not your car, but your life all year. Some of you were here last year at camp and you made these decisions and these declarations and you had good intentions and hey, you're gonna get it right again. And then all this past year, you just deviated from that. You went back to her, back to him. It was an unhealthy relationship. It was sexual. It's the addiction, it's porn, it's partying. And you just went back to those things and you walk in here and you just have this immense weight and feeling like God's just disappointed in me because of my sin. What is also true for a lot of us in here, and it's not necessarily that you feel that God is disappointed in you because of your sin, because of the bad things you do, but because you've not done enough good things. You haven't served enough, you haven't worshiped enough, your life doesn't look quite like you think it should look, and you want to give God more, but it just can't seem to give him enough, and you feel like he's disappointed in you. And if you think like that, whether it's bad or good, then you live insecurely. Like you just don't know where you stand with God. Some of you tell yourself a story that God is absent. I had this friend across the street, 4 houses down. And we would go over to his house all the time because he never had any parents home. His dad lived in Iowa and his mom always worked and she lived on the east side and she had a boyfriend that she'd go and spend the night at his house all the time. And so if we wanted to get crazy, we'd go over to his house. We just lived however we wanted there. Kind of pretended like we were adults when we were teenagers, and it's because we had no authority there. There's no one really watching us. And some of you feel like God is absent in your life. Like you don't sense his presence if you're honest with yourself. It doesn't seem like he's close to you. It's like he doesn't care about your life and all the details of it, and you feel like God is absent. And if he's absent then you just live however you want. Usually in rebellious, unhelpful ways. Some of you tell yourself the story that God is cruel. God is cruel. My wife and I were driving. We're heading up north to Payson. It's a town like 2.5 hours to the north and east of the valley. And I remember this car ride so vividly because it's this moment when we're both so quiet. We're not talking to each other really. There's a lot going on in our minds. Feel some like heavy weight. Feel some pressure. Earlier that morning, I received a call from my older sister. She said, hey, I need you to get up north. There's been a family accident. We arrive at this apartment complex and we go upstairs, second floor. We go through the door and I see my dad, I see my grandmother. We walk in. I go to the back bedroom and my little sister's sitting on the bed. No one else back there with her. She's by herself. She's quiet. She'd been crying nonstop. I could see she's discolored and dehydrated, and she's shaking from shock. On her shirt, there's blood. Earlier that morning, my sister's two little boys, one is 3 and the other one is 1, my nephews, were playing in a neighbor's apartment, and they wandered into a back bedroom. They picked up a gun they thought was a toy. Older one shoots, kills the younger. It makes me emotional. Some of you hear stories like that, and you think that's exactly the reason why I don't believe in God. Because if God is in control, how could he be so cruel and allow events like that to happen? Events in the world that you see and hear, and maybe you have stories like that in your own life, but maybe for you it's actually more personal than that. It's not that God is cruel from a distance, but that maybe he's cruel up close and personally to you, that you've experienced pain, abuse. You've got some stories that you're not even gonna share this week. Because God's cruel. How can I approach a God that's cruel? And if you think like that, there's really 2 ways that most of us live if this is the way that you see God. Is that in one sense you're angry with him and you're just constantly clenched fists when it comes to God, and you may not feel like you're angry at God, but you're angry at everybody else. In reality, you're angry with God. Others of you, it's that you're apathetic. You're either angry or you're apathetic. Apathetic meaning you just don't care. Because if he doesn't care, then I don't care. Still, some of you just have a hard time wrapping your mind around God being real. Like, I don't even know if I could approach God because I'm not sure he's real. I'm not sure he exists. And I know you're out there. I know there's a lot of you that feel this very way. You're sitting here, some of you, you've been to camp a bunch of times, you show up on the weekends, and you're still not sure that God is real. All the religions out there, all the belief systems, the problem of evil and sin, creationism and evolution. The Bible is so crazy and complicated and hard to read. The resurrection and the miracles feel like it's hard to even grasp and wrap your mind around. Is God real? And if that's the case, if you believe God's not real, and the only thing you believe is that you are real. What's the story you're telling yourself about God that keeps you from approaching him? Our band's gonna come and they're gonna sing a song for us tonight. It's called Deep Dive. It's kind of a favorite of ours. And what I'm gonna ask you to do tonight, it's night 1. I know we're coming in hot. we're getting right to it. Tonight I'm gonna ask you to do something. I'm just gonna ask you to be honest. I'm And I ask you to be honest, to sit where you're at. Let the song sing over you. Let the words funnel into your heart. And just be honest with this question. What's keeping me from approaching God with confidence? What story am I telling that's keeping me from God?
I can sense the call of your spirit. It's a still small voice, but I hear it. Lead me in your ways, breathe upon my faith. There's a place where there are no limits, and you won't relent till I'm in it. You don't want a surface relationship, you want more than this. Take me on a deep dive into your heart. Show me every detail, unveil all that you are, all that you into the unknown. Father, come and show that your spirit's never been hiding. It's the faithful ones that keep finding. Oh, I don't want a surface relationship, I want more than this. Take me on a deep dive into your heart. Show me every detail, unveil all that you are. Take me
I don't know what words came to your mind. It might have been one of the four that I mentioned, and disappointed, and absent, and cruel, or not real. But I bet it was different. I bet you had a bunch of words. Some of you might have had a hard time even describing what it is. What we're gonna do for the next couple of moments is give you a chance to come in at one of these tables. There's a pen, and there's a bunch of pens, and there's cloth. And we're gonna give you a chance to write whatever it might be that keeps you from approaching God with confidence. I'm gonna go first though. Am I enough? It's been a long battle with this one. Is my life good enough? Did I impress God with today, with my job, with preaching? Show God enough? Sometimes I just get on this treadmill of feeling like I gotta do more and more and more, and it can wear me out a little bit. You don't have to come down, but I'm gonna give everybody a chance to do this, and when you do, to come in and write down what it is that at times keeps you from approaching God with confidence. There'll be space on all over the room. Where there's a light, there's probably a table. As soon as you're done writing, if you'd like, then you can head back to your chair and continue worshiping. It's your turn.
I believe that our Father has good plans for you. I just wonder if perhaps we've been telling ourselves stories about Him that have been affecting His plans. That have been getting in between you and Him. It takes tremendous boldness and courage to walk to a table and write down the stories you have about God. To write down the thing that is potentially in between you and Him. But I may ask you to take one more bold step of courage tonight. What if you let some people in? What if you were honest enough to talk about the thing that you wrote down? I wonder if you'd find you're not the only person that wrote that thing down. I wonder if you'd find there's people in your group that are living similar lives to you. And if eventually we desire to remove the things that are in between, I think we first have to uncover them. I pray that tonight as important for you. I pray that you lean in. I'm going to read this verse over you tonight. You don't need to read it with me today. Just sit and listen. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. For he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. And all the more as you see the day approaching. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that tonight is a night filled with honesty. I pray that tonight is a night that for the first time, there are people in this room who've been pushing people away. I pray that tonight they let someone in. You have a life for us that is greater than we could ever imagine. Give us the boldness and the courage to start removing the things that have gotten in between. We love you, Jesus. In your name we'll say together, amen.